Real estate brokerage is not an easy game. It's one for very sharp individuals, and I happen to be one of them. This is a quick story. It happened in Naguru. I went to this very posh apartment to check it out for a prospective client. I was on a Bajaj. The gate man couldn't even let me get inside. 2 days later, I go back to the same place in a friend's VX. The gate man opened, I checked out the place, and I made my pitch to my client. It's about prestige. It's about very, very imposing cars. And this is the VX. This is the Prado that we shall be looking at in this edition. Welcome once again to the Zetucar guide, where we get to talk cars that are dominating Ugandan roads. Don't forget, you need to hit that subscription button. Subscribe. Become a member of this family. I'm Chimbugwe and I'm not a father yet. Working on it though. However, I know the father of the Toyota Prado. He's the Landcruiser J70. I know so many Ugandan guys that are still pushing him in 2020. This guy came out in 1984 and he was around up to like 1990. If you're still pushing a J70, what it is it? The father came in 3 engine trims. All of them 2.4 liters. The diesel, the petrol, and the diesel turbo. And he was made to be a light edition of the 70 series. The J70 was designed to be a short chassis model of this car. And came with a hard roof, and in some cases a soft roof. This guy had nicknames. Most people call him the Landcruiser 2. Others call him the Bundera or Bundera, depending on who grew you, but the spelling is right here. In 1990, the father dies, and in comes the Toyota Prado, as we have it today. He's almost 30 years, I must say. And people are still pushing him, man. Like even that original guy, people are still pushing him. But it's okay, this is Uganda. And it kicked off with the SX, the LX, and the X, EX model. For comfort, it had shock absorbers through springs at the front. It also came with 4-speed automatic transmission and 5-speed manual transmission. Things get more interesting when it comes to the engine trims, because this one came with 5. There was a 2.4 liter petrol engine, 2.4 diesel turbo engine, 2.7 liter petrol engine, a 2.8 liter diesel engine, and a 3.0 liter diesel turbo engine. This guy starts to consume. The Toyota Prado had a very similar look to the predecessor. The difference being the fact that this one had a longer wheelbase, and the lights, they are rectangular here, while in the car that was there before the Prado, they were circular. It also got the front grille, front fenders, an engine hood, and fog lights, making its shape a little bit more distinct. It was obviously bigger, and it was originally designed as a body on frame, but one with really good off-road capabilities. We are live in 1996, and it's a graduation year for the Prado, because now we get into the second generation, and this edition came with the GSL, GXL, RX, and VX. We maintained a 4-speed automatic transmission and a 5-speed manual transmission. And he also acquired multiple engine trims like the 2.7 liter petrol, the 2.8 liter diesel, the 3.0 diesel, the 3.0 diesel turbo, and the 3.4 petrol engine. He's more power hungry. Understandably so, because this guy becomes a fully fledged SUV with a 4-wheel drive and the ABS system. Cars, like with the Vitz of 2005, are safe also here. Internally, we get a much improved styling with better seats, with power windows, and in some models, the television display. If your model didn't come with a TV, go to Chiseka. On the outside, it becomes easier on the eye, less rugged, smoother curves, with optional floodlights. 2002 is another graduation year for the Toyota Prado, and it moves into the third generation, also called the Lexus GX 470. It came in the RX version, the RZ version, the TX Limited, TZ, and the TZG selection. Now, this TZ has nothing to do with Tanzania, the country. Note that down. It came with a 4-speed manual transmission, a 5-speed auto transmission, 5-speed manual, and a 6-speed manual transmission. He maintains a 2.7 petrol engine and the 3.0 diesel engine, plus the diesel turbo engine. Things get a bit more interesting because we see the V6 engine coming into play with a 3.4 liter petrol engine and the 4.0. It got a revised front suspension to improve the reliability, front heated seats for the driver and the passenger, a heated exterior mirror to help with frosty situations. You know, quite often, especially when it rains, things become a bit complicated. Not with this Prado. And there's also the hill start and hill descent control mechanisms that came into play. These are to basically help the guys who are not yet masters of the clutch, balancing the boat. When you're ascending or when you're descending, things still remain comfortable, pretty much like the guys who are pushing automatic rides. It also has a central differential lock and auto engine heating. If you're caught up in a muddy situation where the car is just spinning around, the tires are spinning around, you're not getting any forward motion, the car is swerving from place to place, in some cases it even digs deep into the ground, what we call oktubira in English, oktubira in Uganda. This is where the central differential lock comes in to give you that firm traction and you get that forward motion. On the outside, he looks and feels much bigger, and he comes with a very splendid styling, especially the headlights. The fog lights are embedded within the fender, and the grille gets an outstanding design. It's a major facelift from the second edition. Finished off by an additional brake light right above the tailgate and much more elegant rear light styling. In 2009, the Prado gets into the 4th generation. Let's call him the J150 or Lexus GX 460. Now, this is precisely why, of all the cars I had to get to go to Naguru and impress that Askari, I had to pick on a VX. Because he came in 3 trims, the GX, the GXL, and the VX, and indeed they are pricey. He gets the 4-speed auto transmission, 5-speed auto, 6-speed auto, and the 5-speed and 6-speed manual transmissions. Major upgrade. Things get even more interesting because he maintains all the variations that we've looked at in the engine or in the Prado's life, plus the 2.8 diesel turbo engine variation and the dual VVTi engine to kick out more power. In some variations of this car, the design features a spare tire under the car, or should we call it the floor of the car, to give room for a jerry can. Let's call it that way in Uganda. At the back where there should ideally be a spare tire. And this is to help especially the adventurous spirits, or should we say those people who are going in for very long distances into remote areas, to have an extra 20 liters plus of fuel to save you on the way. On the inside, it gets more interesting because under normal circumstances, ordinary cars, the 2-seater that is usually in the boot is what you fold against the walls to create some room for extra cargo. But with this variation, even the 3-seater is foldable flat, so that you have much more room for cargo at the expense of human room. The catch though is that you'll miss out on some extra money that you would have made using the Zetu Hitch feature of the Zetucar app. This feature enables you to get some money from people who hitch your ride that are moving into the direction where you're going. So, if you fold the seats, in essence, you're folding your money. That aside, the interior features elements that anyone could die for in a car. We are talking about a Prado on steroids. Very fine leather seats, a moonroof, and a 7-inch touchscreen TV. I can put my last money on the line here that the Toyota Prado is only getting bigger. In 2030, in my head, I see a clear picture of this car being as big as a Fuso truck. But that aside, the 2009 version becomes much improved externally. It gets LED headlights, a much bolder grille, an imposing build, indicators on the side mirrors, restyled rear lights. This distinct look is one that actually gives it an edge, especially among the semi-ecozos of this country. Welcome to my favorite part of the show, the Zetucar Consumer Tip, where we get to share that one thing that you'll need in your life. Now, the Prado is a monster on the road, but it should feed you, not eat you. Make use of the Zetu Hitch function of the Zetucar app to be able to, get some money when you're taking on a journey, coming from somewhere. Pick up these guys who are going in the same direction, charge them a small fee, make new friends, be happy in your car. Chimbugwe Chimbugwe is the name, Zetucar Show is the show. See you next time.